na hiyo pesa. Sababu hii pesa ni damu yetu ya watoto ya Gen Z. Hii pesa ni ile ingenunua madawa. Hii pesa ni pesa anume. Lakini pesa kwa sababu si mbaya. Hii pesa usipeleke mtoto nayo shule. Hii pesa usinunue ng'ombe ati uweke pamoja na ile yako. Hii pesa ni ya kukula siku hiyo. Alafu kaatiguo, kwa sababu Mungu amepanga mwili yetu mzuri. Unakula alafu inasia, alafu inafanya nini? Hiyo pesa iko na damu, kwa sababu ndio iliuzwa vijana wetu wa Gen Z wamekufa. Hii pesa ni ile ikinunua madawa kwa hospitali. Ndio imejazwa pale Karen na Ikulu na magunia. Ati watu ya mlima wapewe ndio mpiduke. Mnaweza piduka? Lakini pesa kwa sababu inaweza saidia. Ile tu I want to caution you as my people. Besha isho ndugashie tukanyana ciaku. Nzo igwithania. Na ndukanagure mahiũ utukania na mao. Na ndukanarĩhĩre mwana cukuru na mbeca irĩkũ. Icio nĩ cia kũrĩa na kanua ngau. Ukare? Na kũngĩhotekeka itikarare mũthenya ũrĩkũ? Ithirio mũthenya ũrĩkũ? Kwa hivyo wewe ukienda Karen ukipewa 10,000 kwa sababu huwezi maliza peke yako. Ukifika Embu ita marafiki mkule hiyo mumali, hiyo pesa isifike nyumbani. Inaweza thurumu ile pesa yako umetafuta naja. Na it is unfortunate that the government has diverted public funds meant for our hospitals, meant for our women, wale akina mama, meant for capitation ya kuhonga watu ya Mount Kenya tuwarudi kwa president na ile mtu yake aliweka kwa kazi. All that is taking place in State House in Karen is bribery. It's a sin of crime. It's a sin of crime. And these are public funds. But we are saying because we have problems, tuko na shida ya pesa, hatuwezi waambia watu wetu wasichukue pesa, tutakosana na hawa. All I have done is to caution you how to use that money. Icio ni cia kuriona kanua tau. No ndukainuke nake. Ona ko mutimia yaku ndio mwendete ndukamukinyiria mucii umwire mucemania buro oereha uburoti ahuthire mbeca hau ke no ungikorwo na thiri wa mundu mutatwaranaga wega nake umurihe na mbeca iriku nitoiguithaniria na hii maneno ya kuchukua pesa ya serikali kuhonga watu hapa Mount Kenya tumeizoea. Tuliona wakati ya BBI, tuliona wakati ya Azimio. It's an exercise in futility. What is sad is misuse of public funds for political bribery and trying to corrupt our people to go in a certain way politically. Sasa tunaona mabasi yote ya shule instead ya kuwa inapeleka watoto shule inakuwa preserved kusaidia watu wetu, ni kuchukuliwa kupeleka watu kwenda kuhongwa. Unaona mabasi imejaa kwa barabara. But we are saying jogu ndikathikwo na ke na ng'ombe ndikarekwe kuwe na ke. Inyuĩ mũrĩ andũ ogĩ, inyuĩ mũtingĩgũrĩka mũtihiana mbunge arĩa maragũrirwo mbeca. Nikimalizia ndio mimi niwachie hapo. Hii maneno ya abductions, we continue to condemn abductions in the strongest terms possible. And to say, even the colonial government, brutal as it was, it never targeted our children. We want to call upon the president to stop the abductions and killings of our young people. It is pointless, Mr. President, for you to pretend to be creating peace in DRC when your government is abducting and killing our children. It doesn't make sense. That is pretense. How are you concerned about the insecurity in DRC when under your very watch your government is abducting and killing our young children? Mambo ya criminal gangs. Serikali imetafuta criminal gangs hapa wachafue hapa Mlima Kenya. knowing very well ya kwamba hawa vijana hawatakubaliwa na vijana, na wanataka hiyo vijana wapewe pesa walete fujo, ndio vijana wetu wajipange wapige hawa, ndio watuchekelee Wakikuyu wanapigana. That is what has happened pale Mwea. Hiyo kikundi imeamuka, watu pale Mwea wameshikana, wamewaua. That is what they want, because they know our people cannot accept that criminal gang kurudi. Kama sasa walikuwa napanga ati watume hapa kuharibu kanisa, sasa vijana hapa wakajipanga, lakini hawakukuja na wamefanya nzuri, because that they should not be misused. Ndio wakija wapigwa na vijana yetu. Sasa rais akikujwa maziwa pale na watu yake ile inaitwa Murusik, wanacheka ati Wakikuyu wanapiga. Ugo nugu watu bageire nigetha ati andu aitu mahurane atuthekagirire ula tuli irimu ati Gikuyu kirarwa nake. I want to urge our young people, please msikubali kutumika vibaya. Pale Mwea wameuawa wawili na watu ya huko wamesema hawezi kubali, because those gangs will not be allowed to come, and that is what the president wants. Hiyo vijana wakuja waanze kuleta vurugu, watu wetu wajipange, wauane, wapigane, atuchekelee. Let us not fall into that trap. And we are asking, utapeleka askari na namna gani Haiti kupigana na criminal gangs, then your government is sponsoring gangs in Kenya? It is hypocrisy. Why don't you first deal with the gangs here? And these gangs are not even there. You are the one who is reviving them and encouraging them. So sisi tuseme watu wetu tutikahũrithanio. Abunge aitũ marahenio nĩ Ruto, maraheo mbeca, maroka marakunyanĩra rũrĩrĩ, rĩu matihotaga kũinũka. Na nĩ irimũ tondũ rĩrĩ, na ndamerĩte rũgano wa mahiti na wa mabu. Nĩ ndamerĩte kandi amerĩte. Ngĩmera wa mahiti ahenio nĩ wa mabu makahũre mũka. Wa mahiti akĩhũra mũka rĩ, wa mabu ahũraga kĩ? Rĩu mahenio nĩ Ruto mamũkararie, rĩu matinũkaga, nowe nĩ athiaga kwa Njaruo na agathiĩ kwa Mbaruhia. Rĩu matindaga Nairobi mĩkawa-inĩ makĩũragia kũrathiĩ atĩa, ground ĩrerwo atĩa. Rĩu maũndũ mao nĩ mahĩtanire. Rĩu ndaigua nĩ mũrenda kũmainũkia, kandi ndaigua mauga mũndũ wothe wakunyanĩire rũrĩrĩ nĩ mũmoĩ kana mũtimoĩ? Thabarĩ yao nĩ mũbangĩte ya kũinũka one way kana magacoka nĩ one way, na nĩ mahenirio nĩ Ruto. Na ngĩmeraga ngĩmera mũndũ nĩ ndiramũmenya nĩ nyũmba ĩno itũ atarenda.
Yes, that is Rigiji, and of course, if you hear the opening session of the Rigiji, then you know that we are here for the political discussion that happens here every day at 10 p.m. where you follow this great conversation. After yesterday, we had that little conversation here in Africa 24, whereby we had a lot of interactions with our viewers and also a lot of guests who turned up for the yesterday show. We were happy to have more than 7 guests in the Africa 24. Of course, in our comment section, I know Awesome, Laban Misiani, they are always tuned in Africa 24. I'm expecting Gypsy Kona also, and also other many people who will be tuning in this a good discussion. Of course, we are going to have all this in the next a few hours as we discuss some of the top stories in Africa 24. We are going to discuss all those, and of course, remember to always subscribe, like, comment, and share. But most important is you subscribe to Africa 24. You're going to fly 5,000 meters above sea level as we analyze and give you the best analytics when it comes to the politics of this country. Where you following this great conversation in East Africa? It's 15 minutes past 10 p.m. If you are in the United States of America, I don't know, but I'm very sure it's in the afternoon. People from United Kingdom, make sure the likes of Ellie, you subscribe to Africa 24. And I'm hoping to get more guests today as we discuss some of the top stories that we have in the country. But one of the major concern today was William Ruto when he was in Mandera, and he condemned the actions of the Al-Shabaab, whereby the Al-Shabaab, they attacked 6 chiefs and they abducted them And of course, he said that he is not fearing the Al-Shabaab, that is the president. And if they are more concerned, then they should come and attack while he's around, because he's going to sleep in Mandera for the next few days. But what we have today is that we have a lot of underdevelopments in this country, whereby the country is facing a lot of underdevelopments, and Kenyans are crying and they are asking, who is going to save Kenyans? Who is this person who will save Kenyans? Someone who will be in the seat of the president, and the people will be happy and they will see this kind of developments happening from north, south, east, and west, any part of the country, to experience equal distribution of resources. Yes, I am Buru here. Buru, I know you have been following this politics of this country. Today, you saw the president condemning some of the issues that is happening in this country, and this is after the Al-Shabaab. You remember the Al-Shabaab? They attacked Garissa University in 2015. They killed a lot of students in Garissa, and for a while that university has been abandoned. But now we have seen still students are resuming. But now in Mandera, we saw the other day whereby 6 chiefs were arrested, and they were planning arrangements for the president visit. So Buru, before you weigh on that, I want us to listen to this.
Mimi nataka niwaambie hivi, usalama ni kitu ya muhimu sana. Usalama wa taifa letu la Kenya ni ya muhimu sana. Tunapigana na wahuni na wakora na wahalifu pamoja na magaidi. Na kwa sababu hawa magaidi tumewalemea jana, kwa sababu ya kutaka kulete hali ya hofu sehemu hii, ati walienda wakashika machifu wetu. I want to promise the people of Mandera, hawa machifu lazima warudi nyumbani, na hawa wakora na wagaidi na wahuni tutapambana na wao. Nimekuja na Deputy Inspector General wa polisi yuko hapa, Bwana Masengeli, na nimemwambia Bwana Masengeli yuko area hapa. Bwana Masengeli nishamueleza ya kwamba juu chini, kulia kushoto, mbele na nyuma, east or west, mpaka mambo haya yatatuliwe, kwa sababu we have significantly downgraded the ability of the Al-Shabaab to unleash violence to the people of northern Kenya, and we will not stop at anything until we make sure northern Kenya is safe like any other part of the Republic of Kenya. Munajua hawa wajinga walikuwa wanafikiria ya kwamba wakifanya hiyo maneno walifanya jana, ati ndio nisikuje hapa. Wako ni wajinga kabisa, ni wazimu. Mimi sio ati nimekuja Mandera, nimekuja na Mandera na mimi nalala Mandera. Na ikizidi naweza kulala tena, kwa sababu hapa ni Kenya. And I must make it absolutely clear that every part of Kenya is important, and we are not going to cede an inch of our country to criminals and those who want to unleash mayhem in our republic. We will go after them, we will deal with them, and we will eliminate them. Tumekubaliana jameni? Watu wa Mandera tumekubaliana? Vijana mko? Sikizeni. Hapa Mandera tuko na program ya housing, nyumba 1000 tumetangaza ya kujenga hapa Mandera town. Nyumba 1000 tunajenga pale Ramo. Nyumba 1000 tunajenga pale Elwak. Soko ambayo nimekubaliana na viongozi wenu, tunajenga soko kubwa hapa Mandera town ya milioni 350. Tutasaidiana na county government hapa. Tutajenga soko ingine 6 ya milioni 300 in all the headquarters ya all the constituencies hapa Mandera. We have a...
That is the President of the Republic of Kenya when he was speaking. And he's addressing also how he's going to carry on development. Yet Kenyans are still questioning Buru, what have you listened to the president saying? Of course, Al-Shabaab attack, and also he's saying affordable housing is going to be happening in Mandera. You know what happens in the northeastern counties. They are suffering a lot.
Thank you so much, Kimanzi. And thank you so much, our viewers. I can see so many people coming to watch this show. Thank you so much, even those who are in the comment section. I'll start by saying that some things require silence. Our president is an extrovert. He likes talking so much. And sometimes he don't know when to keep quiet. You don't go out to threaten the terrorists when they are already holding some of your citizens. 5 chiefs are in the custody of the terrorists. So by threatening them and showing them how tough you are telling them to go and kill those chiefs. After such a speech, it will be very hard for us to get those chiefs when they are still alive. Some of these operations are done in secret. Some of these operations are done in silence. If you are not willing to negotiate with the terrorists, what you do, you send special forces, they operate secretly. You as the president, as the commander-in-chief, you just watch what is happening. Remember what happened when Osama bin Laden was being arrested or was being killed by United States. They never said anything. They did that operation secretly, in silence. So after the president made such threats against the Al-Shabaab, he is telling them, I am not willing to negotiate with you, but I'm willing to fight with you. I am coming for you. I am coming to kill you. So they won't just keep quiet and wait to be killed by the KDF. Instead, they are going to eliminate our chiefs. So that's reckless talk, if I may say. It is reckless to talk like that when some of your citizens are in the hands of the terrorists. This is the time for the president to be quiet, do whatever he wants to do to rescue the chiefs in secret. And after he has acted and after he has succeeded to rescue our chiefs, then he can come out and tell Kenyans how much he has succeeded. I know this is his nature of using force, excessive force to those whom he feels like they are crossing the red line, but this is not the way to go when it comes to terrorism. To me, I see it as a very dangerous move that the president has taken. He was not supposed to talk like that when our chiefs are abducted. He can speak tough after he has rescued them, but this time he was supposed to be quiet. He was supposed to be thinking, how are we going to make sure that these people are not killed? You know how many Kenyans have been killed by the Al-Shabaab. This group is merciless. And remember, we are fighting with stupid people who don't fear to die. They call it jihad. They are prepared to die psychologically. So what the president is doing is putting our chiefs in danger of being killed by the Al-Shabaab. For me, I saw it as a very dangerous move. He was not supposed to talk like that. Yeah.
He was not supposed to talk like that. That is Buru. And of course, this is after 6 chiefs were abducted by the Al-Shabaab. And still, you remember what happened in 2015, whereby a lot of students lost their lives because of the attack by Al-Shabaab. And also Kenyans. You also remember the Westgate attack. I can see Labani Misiani saying that Buru, the president, was not addressing bed of Rossi. Sure. Shut up. I don't know what he's trying to mean, but anyway, that is
No,
Laban
Miss
Misiani.
Yani, this follower of ours nowadays has become a nuisance. He is used of abusing people. When you come to watch or to follow a freak, the minimum we require is some manners and decorum. And you can give your views, you can differ with us respectfully. But if you're not respectful, we're going to kick you out because that's not the way we go. We don't abuse anyone. So that is hooliganism. So please behave, Miss Yani, or whoever you are.
That is President William Ruto when he was saying that he will deal with those terrorists. And I know investigations are still ongoing on how to retrieve those abducted chiefs who were trying to arrange the areas where the president will be touring in Mandera. Of course, also the president also addressed the issues of underdevelopments in the counties of Mandera, Wajir, Marsabit, Moyale. You know, those counties have been neglected for long, and it spreads to all over the counties of Kenya. Some counties have been neglected. And Kenyans, I've listened to Kenyans recently, and they are saying that they need someone who will save them from underdevelopment. They are saying it is high time now they support the former CS for education and also indeed security. Buru, do you think that Matiang'i will be the savior?
I don't know how I can put it. Let me start by saying the promise of the president that he is going to improve the development in those areas. Like I said another time, we are tired of promises. We are tired of seeing the president saying that today we are launching this project and we are promising to do ABCD. What we want to see is the president opening projects when they are already complete, because this has been the trade all the time, promising people, I am going to do ABCD. Remember these areas, because I have visited most of those areas, Marsabit, Garissa, Moyale. I have gone up to, I've also gone to Lodwar. I've gone up to the border between Kenya and South Sudan. We have been having governments that don't care about those pastoralist people who live there. They just use them for votes. And they just go there and give promises, but they don't do anything to improve their lives. Some of these people don't even know that they're in Kenya. I went to Southern Sudan and some people were asking me, is Kenya like here? You know, because the place was very hot. So they were asking if Kenya is sunny, like their place. So I want to say this. The best thing the president can do now, because most Kenyans are doubting him when it comes to development. They don't believe what he says, or he promises with the hope that he's gonna do it. But at the end of the day, he does not do it. So what he is supposed to do is to change his style of leadership or the style of doing things. He is supposed to start by developing. After completing the project, then he can launch that project. Instead of just telling people, I am going to do ABCD, then at the end of the day, he does not do it. So I don't think whatever he said he is going to do in that side of the country, he is going to do it, because he has promised so many things which he cannot fulfill. He is saying that he's not a populist leader, but I see him as one, because he promised so many things. He even had these charters between communities and himself, that when I get to power, I will do ABCD. But has he fulfilled the things he promised before ascending to power? So that now he can say You see, I have already accomplished what I had promised, so I can give more promises. That is what is making many Kenyans doubt our president. And I think the best advice I can give to the president, it is the time for you to change your way of doing things. Don't start by promising. Now start by doing. After that, you tell Kenyans, you have seen what I have done. And now we are going to launch this project, which has already been accomplished. That way, Kenyans will start to have faith in him. And I think that is what we want right now. Those promises have been are the reasons why the people of Kenya don't trust whatever the president says. You have asked about Matiang'i. For me, I can say Matiang'i is a principled leader. He has been tested before. He is very, very principled. But I doubt that the people of Kenya will give him a chance, especially because they vote basing on the tribe. Unless the third tribe in Kenya, which is we can say, how many tribes do we have? 45. We can call it the 46th tribe of Kenya, the Gen Zs. People who are saying we don't care about the tribe we come from, whether you are Kikuyu or not, whether you are a Luo or not, a Luya or a Kamba. We as the Gen Zs are going to fight as one team. Unless he is fronted by the Gen Zs as their candidate, then I don't see him ascending to power, because where he comes from, they don't have enough votes to bring on the table. And we say politics is a game of numbers. So how many people are following Matiang'i from Kisii? Is he having 3 million that he can negotiate with another Kalonzo with 4 million and another Gachagua with 5 million, so that he can be in a position to become the president of Kenya? Matiang'i is a good leader, focused, principled, and someone who is patriotic, someone who loves his country. But I don't see Kenyans giving him a chance to become the president. That's the most unfortunate thing, that we vote basing on tribe.
But Matiang'i, when he was in the cabinet secretary of education and also interior security, he performed, and the Kenyans, they got trust from those two ministries. So do you think that Kenyans still have those memories that in 2027 they might flock to vote for Jubilee candidate, that is Matiang'i? Anything can happen when it comes to Kenyan politics, Mburu. Even those Kikuyus can vote for Matiang'i, the Luos, the Coastal, Kambas. Matiang'i is a good leader. I think most Kenyans will vote for Matiang'i.
Let me tell you, Bonnie, in Kenya, we don't vote the best performer. We vote basing on our tribes. For instance, Luo Nyanza has significant numbers, but they will vote basing on the person that will be directed to vote, but by Raila Odinga. Central Kenya is the province with the most numbers or the most votes in Kenya. This time they will vote basing on where Gachagua will tell them to vote. Kamba people will vote majorly basing on where Kalonzo will go. So you see, that is why I am saying, if we vote people basing on performance, then Matiang'i may have a very high chance of becoming the president of Kenya. But now, unfortunately, that is not the case. If it is performance, during the Uhuru campaign in 2011, we had a very good candidate called Peter Kenneth. Peter Kenneth he was the best performer, the person who managed the CDF very well in Gatanga. Everybody sang about how Gatanga was looking like because of Peter Kenneth. He performed exemplary well. But when he contested to become the president of Kenya, he was nowhere. Why? Because people were following Uhuru, because Uhuru was like a tribal chief. So Kenyans voted Uhuru because to them, he was their kingpin. Therefore, I don't see Matiang'i becoming a president of Kenya unless he is supported not by Uhuru, but by Ruto himself. No, not Ruto, but by Gachagua. It is good to know. Right now, Matiang'i is being supported by Uhuru. But how many people still follow Uhuru politically? He can only give Matiang'i the same votes that he gave Raila Odinga. And that will be a reason for Matiang'i to fail to accede to power. So if he wants to become the president of Kenya, let him befriend Gachagua, who is being followed by the people in central Kenya. Let him befriend Kalonzo Musyoka, who is being followed by the people in eastern. Let him befriend Raila Odinga, because those are the people that hold the votes. They have what we call the political base. I don't know the coast people whom they follow. They used to follow Joho. Joho is no longer popular. But he should identify those people that when they speak, their people listen to them. But thinking that Uhuru will be in a position to make him president, I am sorry, it is not going to happen. In central Kenya, they have a habit that they only support one leader at a time. They supported Uhuru when it was his time. This is the time of Gachagua. And where Gachagua will direct them to go, that is where they will go. Matiang'i has a chance of working together with Uhuru. They go sit down with Gachagua and they agree that this is our candidate. If he can be supported by Uhuru and be supported by Gachagua, then the others are likely to come and join him. And he has a chance because there is a high possibility that Gachagua may not be running for presidency in 2027.
Yes, that is Buru. And of course, Matiang'i, when it comes to someone being the perfect, then I'm very sure most Kenyans, they really think Matiang'i is the perfect. But also, you listen to what Ashley was saying, and I think I could be having the number for Ashley so that I can send her the connection here. But the president also today spoke about development, the affordable housing. He is ready to transform. But again, the president has been making these headlines whenever he goes anywhere. He's saying that he wants to make changes. He wants to make this country move ahead. He has the best solution for this country. But again, Kenyans are still crying. North, south, left. They're saying that we don't have development in this country. So as we know that the president has been doing all this so that he can change the situation of the country. But now, do you think Matiang'i will become the president of this country in 2027? Following this great conversation, you can share your comments and views here live in Africa 24.
Wa Kenya wote, jameni, tuungane, tushirikiane. Ya muhimu sio uchaguzi wa 2027. Ya umuhimu sasa ni mpango ya transformation ya Kenya. Barabara tutakazojenga, maji tutakayofikisha kwa manyumba ya wananchi, stima tutakayofikisha kwa nyumba ya wananchi. Hawa vijana tuwapange na ajira, na wale wengine wote tuhakikishe ya kwamba tuna madawa katika mahospitali yetu. Na ndio mimi nataka niwaulize viongozi, let us unite so that we can have a plan and we can prosecute the agenda for the transformation of our nation. Matters 2027 will come and the people of Kenya will decide. For now, we must focus on making sure that we deliver on the commitments that we made. And I want to promise the people of Kenya that this administration, under my leadership, is going to focus on the transformation of Kenya, making sure that our teachers are in school, our children are being taught, our farmers have the support they need. We build roads, we connect electricity, we connect water, transform our nation. That is what is important for every Kenyan, irrespective of their tribe, irrespective of the region they come from, irrespective of the religion they profess, irrespective of any other consideration. And that is why we must work together as leaders and as a nation. Na mimi nataka niwatahadharishe, upande ule mwingine ni watu hawana mpango, hawana sera, hawana ideas, hawana chochote. Ati mpango yao yote ni vile watagawanya Wakenya. Kama hawasemi mambo ya ukabila, wanasema mambo ya sijui dini. Kama hawasemi mambo ya dini, wanasema sijui nani wa kutoka mulima, nani wa kutoka bonde, nani wa kutoka bara, nani wa kutoka ziwa, nani wa kutoka wapi. Kama hawafanyi hiyo, wanasema nani yako na kazi, nani hana kazi. Nani yako na payslip, nani hana payslip. Mimi nataka niwaambie hawa jamaa, if you want a semblance of a competition, look for an agenda. Leave division. Division will not get you anywhere. And the people of Kenya are resolved to unite so that together we can transform our nation. We cannot transform our nation divided. We will transform our nation united. And that is why we are united as a people of Kenya. Watu wa Mandera, munasema tuungane ama tutengane? Tuungane ama tutengane Mandera? Wale wanasema tuungane nione kwa mkono, wale wanasema tuungane. Tuko pamoja? Tuko pamoja? Kwa hivyo, mimi nimefurahi sana kufika hapa. Mimi niko hapa. Na mimi nataka niwahakikishie ya kwamba vijana hawa are top on my priority kwa kupanga vile watapata ajira na vile tutatembea pamoja na nyinyi. Mandera, asanteni sana, na wapenda sana, na watakia baraka ya Mungu, na tutakutana hapo mbeleni. Thank you very much and may the good Lord bless all of you. Thank you. Asante sana.
Guru, did you believe the words from the president?
You know, nowadays, I don't know. Okay, there are so many people who feel happy when he is talking. Myself, I already got tired to hear his narratives. I can tell you for sure, when you hear the president saying one thing, he means another, not what he is saying. If there is someone who has been sailing through divisions, is President William Ruto. And I can tell you, Kenyans will be left more divided than he found them by the time he will be leaving power, because he believes in divide and rule policy. If he cannot be supported by a region, he tries to divide that region. That is why he was so uncomfortable with one Rigathi Gachagua, who was trying to unite Mount Kenya. Though Gachagua was assuring him that I'm going to unite these people, then together we are going to support you. That made him so uncomfortable, because at the back of his mind, he was asking himself, what if these people unite, then they fail to support me and they support another person? That is why he was trying to divide. If it is Meru people, put them in one side. The Ebu people, put them in another section. The people from Muranga, you saw there was a fight between, I don't know, Muranga and Nyeri. You know, he is the master of divisions in Kenya. And unless he stops this strategy of trying to divide people for his own gain, he does not have the moral authority to speak about divisions and unity in Kenya. As the president, he should lead from the front. When he is talking of uniting with other leaders, like the former prime minister, it is okay, it is good, it is beautiful. When he is talking of uniting with Kalonzo Musyoka and other leaders, it is okay. But I also want to remind him the way he handled his former deputy, it does not show unity. He is also a Kenyan. He showed that he is intolerant, that he cannot stomach anything or anyone who has a divergent view, that everybody must sing his tune. I don't think that is someone who has the moral authority of telling people about unity. Bonnie and or Benjamin, we can differ, but that does not mean that we have to part ways. As a leader, he didn't show that he is able to bring, if he could not agree, or if he was not in a position to unite with his deputy, someone who paid the price to become the deputy president of Kenya. If he failed to unite with him, how does he think that he has the power to unite the whole country? He is the one who divided. For instance, the Central Kenya and the Rift Valley were working very well together, cohesively. But after what he did, you have seen the divisions. You have heard people saying that they are going to sideline Central Kenya. Is that, and when they are saying that, they are saying it in front of the president, and you see him smiling and clapping. Is that someone who has the moral authority to speak about unity? I doubt what he is saying. If he talks of uniting Kenya, he has to be genuine. He has to lead from the front. He has to know that all people deserve development, whether they support him or not. For instance, he stopped almost all the projects in Central Kenya because the people of Central Kenya have refused to support him. And is that the way to go? No. I heard somebody speak on his face that we are going to sideline Mount Kenya. It will be, I don't know what against one. And the president is there. And even when he stood, he did not condemn that as a reckless statement. So as he talks of how he is going to unite Kenya, let him show it by action, because at no time will all people support you as the president. But remember, William Ruto, you are a president of those who support you and those who don't support you. You are the president of those who love you and even those who reject you. You are our president. You have to show that you are able to be tolerant, you are able to be patient with people, and you are able to unify the country through actions, not by talking only. We want to see the things you do, that they correspond with what you say. Walk the talk.
Yes, that is Buru trying to analyze on President's speech when he was in Mandera, saying that they are going to improve. It is that time now they transform Kenya. But Kenyans are crying. Kenyans are crying that for the last 2 to 3 years, Kenya Kwanza government has been in power. There is nothing that they have benefited. That they are crying, underdevelopments, high cost of living, abductions, massive killings. Those are the comments from most Kenyans. I just want to ask Benjamin. Benjamin, do you agree with what the government is doing? You really think that the government is going to come for the second term in 2027? And what is your take if Kenyans think now it is that time they drop Kenya Kwanza for another government? What is your take on Kenya Kwanza government? Is the country heading in the right directions from your own point of view?
Okay, Bonnie, hi.
Hi, long time, Benjamin.
My good friend Jeff, hi.
Hi, how are you, sir?
I'm good.
Yes, yes.
I'm good here, but let me answer first to your question. Our country is heading somewhere. Let me call our country is not heading in a good direction. But the so we call our elected leaders, they cared less. So I normally blame advisors wa Ruto. Ruto mtu amemuadvise fanya hivi, ikibaki mwaka mmoja ama mwaka mmoja na nusu, rudisha vitu normal, then will be re-elected. Jevu, tumezunguka hizi counties nyingi, nukiangalia opinion za watu, people are suffering, watu wanateseka in real sense. Si ati tunakuja kwa media kuongea tu kitu chenye hatujui. Most of business zimefungwa. So, most of Kenyans as we are talking, except a few, most of them they are depressed. Hawajui watasurvive aje. So, but watu wenye wamezunguka Ruto nao wanajipiga kifua because they still hold this mentality that no president can go for one term. Hiyo ndio mentality inasumbua watu wa Kenya Kwanza. Wanajua tu president, sitting president always anaendanga term mbili. But kitu chenye wanasahau, Ruto needs to understand this generation is totally different na zenye zimekuwa huko nyuma. Vijana tumesoma, we are jobless. Tumetafuta kazi sasa, kazi yenye imebaki sasa yenye tunafanya ni kukula miraa, madawa za kulevya and gambling. But some illiterates wenye hawajasoma ndio wanapewa government jobs. Saa hii Boni, mtu yote akitaka job lazima ukuwe na mtu mwenye atakushika mkono ndio upate hiyo job. Job Kenya huwa haipatikani according to qualifications. Job Kenya inapatikana juu nani mwenye anakujua hapo. Bora hakuna kitu chenye unafanya. So I think taifa inaelekea wrong direction. Nataka tu kwanza nijibu hiyo ndio tuongee ingine. Thank you.
Benjamin anasema taifa inaelekea wrong direction. Yeah. Lakini Benjamin, ukiangalia watu wengi sana nimekuwa nikifuatilia pale kwa mtandao wanasema kwamba mwaka wa 2027 wana nia ya kubadilisha serikali. Je, una imani ya kwamba kuna yeyote ambaye ataweza kumdodoa William Ruto pale kwa serikali?
Personally, na nasema Boni mimi situmiingi dawa ya kulevya yote yenye nitazama nimelewa nikuja kwa show kama nimelewa na niongea ujinga. Naongea kitu chenye nimeona. Juu I told you pia mimi ni upcoming politician na tumetembea tuka gain a lot of views. Mtu kama Gachagua anatumia method yenye Ruto alitumia 2022. Si mnaona Uhuru amenitesa? Si mnaona Uhuru vile amenifanya? Gachagua anataka kutumia that method. Mimi si support Ruto. Haya. Kuna wengine wanasema Matiang'i. Bro, nasema leo ni tarehe 4 niko kwa hii love yako. Nasema leo nikiwa kwa hii Africa. Those are still the same projects. My suggestion, mtu kama Kalonzo akona good leadership qualities. Personally, unajua kila mtu anakuanga na suggestion yake. Kalonzo akona good leadership qualities. But you know, leadership si about sijui vile wewe unaongea mkali ama sijui nini. Tunaangalia pia vitu zingine kama transparency, humility. So mtu kama Matiang'i, na nilisema 2022 before Ruto aingie, nikasema Ruto ukifuatilia history yake si mtu mwenye atakuja kupeleka hii taifa mbele. Boni nakwambia, in case Matiang'i akuwe elected as a president, tusiweke ukabila, tuongelee about vitu zenye zitasaidia wa Kenya. In case Matiang'i akuwe as a president, tutakuja tena kwa hii live tusema at least Ruto. Sababu gani? Matiang'i akishakuwa president, kitu cha kwanza inafaa protect vitu za Uhuru, because Uhuru ndio boss yake. Hakuna kitu chochote chenye mtu kama Raila kitaguzwa. So hao watu wakina Murathe tena watarudi, the former tu cabinet yenye ilikuwa ya Jubilee, hizo vitu tena zitarudi tu zianze kurotate hapo, na government itakuwa in mess mbaya sana. Mimi personally kama kijana, hiyo ndio suggestion yangu yenye naona. So mimi according to me, mimi hata si ati ni Mkamba, mimi ni Mluya. According to me, mtu kama Kalonzo akona leadership qualities mzuri, na kama Wakenya wange consider Kalonzo more ingekuwa sawa. Asante.
Yes, thank you so much, Benjamin, giving his views about Matiang'i and also 2027. Mburu, umesikia vile Benjamin amesema? Anasema Kalonzo he qualifies to become the president of this country. Matiang'i will also rejuvenate the Jubilee government and also the Jubilee cabinet sector.
You know, Bonnie, Kalonzo Musyoka has held high-level positions in the Republic of Kenya. Kalonzo was also once our vice president under Kibaki. And what I love about Kalonzo Musyoka is his level of humility. He is a humble leader. He is not used to this chest thumping like the leaders we are used to. Sometimes I listen to William Ruto when he's talking. He's full of himself. Power has gotten into his mind. That is why he's very authoritative, even in his statements. He is, if I may put it, he is dictatorial in many aspects, unlike Kalonzo. So Kalonzo Musyoka can be a good leader. And what I say, in Kenya, we have scarcity of truthfulness, truthful people. We have very few of them. We also embrace the act of betrayal because Kalonzo Musyoka has supported Raila Odinga for many times. Nobody has ever fought for Odinga to become the president of Kenya more than Kalonzo Musyoka. But today, I don't see the former prime minister supporting Kalonzo Musyoka. This is a man who has fought many times, who has shelved his political ambitions to try to help Raila Odinga to become the president of Kenya. So if Odinga is a gentleman, what he is supposed to do is to say, because I am exiting the political scene, the person I'm going to support is the one who has been standing with me. But I don't see him doing that. Right now, he is supporting Ruto. Why? Selfishness. It is because of what he is getting from Ruto. And he feels like Kalonzo Musyoka is not in a position to give him what Ruto is able to give him. Let me go back to the question of, do you see anybody being in a position to remove William Ruto in power? Bonnie, I want to say there is nothing which is impossible. William Ruto is not God. Elections is just a game of numbers. And those with best strategies will always win. So what we are supposed to do, all those politicians who are uncomfortable with the style of leadership of William Ruto, they should put aside their differences and they come together for a common purpose. And that common purpose should be to remove William Ruto from power. And if they do that, they will be able to do it. Remember, we had Moi, and Moi was fronting Uhuru Kenyatta. And everybody believed, including Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto and all those in the Moi regime under Kanu, they believed there was no way an incumbent can be defeated. Moi tried everything possible within his power. But because Kenyans and all the politicians had united for a common purpose to make sure that Uhuru Kenyatta, who was being fronted by the former president, does not become the president of Kenya, even Moi had to accept. So what we need to do is to be united against someone who is determined to take this country backward. I can tell you for sure, someone who is prepared to mutilate the Constitution, to increase the presidential term limit to 7 years, to 14 years, 7, those are 14. And we even don't know how they intend to do the transition after the increment. He might say, okay, because we have changed the Constitution, now after 5 years, now that is when I will start now my term. So we have to be very careful with someone who promised Kenyans that vote for me, and when I become the president of Kenya, I will never try to change the Constitution. He said it will not be his priority, but that is exactly what he is doing. Let Kenyans, even if the politicians will not come together to remove this man, let Kenyans who are tired like the way I'm tired, because this is someone who says one thing, but when he means something else. And he should not be anywhere near power. I want to conclude by saying the reason why they are saying and they keep on repeating that the incumbent cannot be defeated, it is because they are afraid. Who have asked them? Wanashita wakisema hawezi akatolewa kwa kiti kwa sababu tayari yeye ni rais. Sababu yenye inafanya waseme hivyo ni kwa sababu wanaogopa. And now they are trying to sell the same fear that they feel in their hearts to Kenyans, so that Kenyans will not come out to vote against him. So I am encouraging Kenyans who are tired, like the way I am tired, to decide that we are going to take votes and we are going to vote against William Ruto, someone who does not have goodwill over this country. That all what preoccupies his mind is how he can enrich himself and those who support him politically. This is someone who is using the taxpayers' money to campaign even outside the country, just to remove Raila Odinga from political field in Kenya. He is trying everything, using billions of money to campaign outside. Remember that case was even taken to court because of how much they are spending from taxpayers. This is the president who is giving his deputy money to go bribe people in central Kenya and try to bring them back to his government. That is not prudence. William Ruto is so corrupt. He believes in bribery. He believes in buying senators and members of parliament to pass bills on his favor. He believes in corrupting judiciary. Everything around William Ruto is corruption. Everything in his mind is corruption. And I thought he had changed, because he was showing, he was posing as a good Christian who has reformed. And for me, I believed that even a bad person can change. So many people, especially in central Kenya, were uncomfortable supporting William Ruto. But because of the way he packaged himself as a good Christian, as somebody who has become very humble, as somebody who has regretted his past, they said this is the right person. Kube, the guy has not changed. He has not reformed. He just wanted to ascend to power, then shows his true colors. So I am telling Kenyans, I wish you can see what we have started to see. That William Ruto does not care about Kenya like he used to say. I used to think that he is patriotic. I used to think that he is very loyal to the country, but he cares about himself, his family, and those who support him politically. What he thinks is about solidifying his power, consolidation of power, and sustaining that power. So he doesn't care whether we keep on complaining about the cost of living. He doesn't care what we are complaining, whether we are complaining about Shah and she. He doesn't care. All what he thinks about is how will I continue to be the president of Kenya even after 2027? And how can I change this constitution and rule like Moi? But I want to tell you, Mr. President, things have changed. Kenyans are now wiser. They know exactly what to do to make sure that you do not change the constitution to suit you. Yes, Bonnie.
Perfect, Buru. And also, we have Benjamin. We have seen rumors, and of course, it's not rumors. We saw Didmas Barasa the day before yesterday when he was saying that they are now trying to see the performance of Gachagua when it comes to the opposition, and of course, after he was impeached, now he knows how things are being run in the government, and they are planning to bring him back in before 2027, so that he can have another position, because now he knows what has to be taken when it comes to the governance of the country. Benjamin, of course, you have said also advisors of the president are saying that maybe they will bring everything in order before 2027. Do you think that they will bring Gachagua to the government before 2027? Will this methodology really work? Je, itafanya kazi kweli wakimrudisha Gachagua katika serikali kabla ya uchaguzi? Je, Gachagua atakubali?
Thank you, Bonnie. Before I respond to your question, nataka kuunga Jeff mkono yenye ameongelea. But Kenyans needs to know that Uhuru, Ruto, Raila are same brothers. Wako na same business yenye wanafanyanga. These are the same people wenye wamekuwa kwa government hata mimi before hata mama yangu azaliwe. They know everything in government. And Boni, umekuwa ukisikia wakisema Kenya iko na wenyewe. Hao wenyewe ni wakina nani? There is some people who controls Kenya hata kama wako kwa government. Mimi na wewe hapa tutapiga tu kelele but tuko na wenye Kenya. Hiyo ndio mentality yenye iko. Sababu gani yenye nasema hivyo? Hata warudishe Gachagua kwa government ama wakataa kumrudisha. Boni, these are just the same people. And iko like merry-go-round yenye wanafanyanga. Boni, wacha nikuambie kitu leo. Mwalimu wa maths na president of the republic. Mwalimu wa maths ndiye anakuanga na kazi nyingi kuliko president. Sababu gani? Let me say this. Inakaa awkward but I will explain. Kazi ya president si ngumu. Kazi ya president bora ukikuwa na competent cabinet secretaries, government will perform very well. Bora ukuwe na competent cabinet secretaries. So Ruto anachukuanga watu wenye hata hawana experience about that field, anawapatia kama cabinet secretary instead ya ni kama ana focus mostly on friendship but a focus on ni kitu gani chenye mtu anatakana afanye. That's why unaona government inaenda right left. I talked about Kalonzo ni mzuri but nani wenye wamezunguka Kalonzo na same people. So these people, sisi tunaongeanga kwa hii live, tunaongea hivi, tunapiga hivi makelele, then baadaye wanakuwa na meeting yao, we protective business yangu fulani hivi, protect hivi, fanya hivi. That's why there's a time Boni last year nilijoin hii live nikasema the only person who can save Kenya ni mtu mwenye hajakuwa kwa this government Boni. Sasa ukiangalia from your area MCA, MP, governor, Boni, all those people hata wenye wanajipretend wanatupigania, all those people are corrupt. Au watu wote ni wezi, hata kama wananisikia leo. So kitu chenye wanafanyanga ni level gani ya wezi yenye uko nayo. Kama level yako ya wizi ni iko chini, wewe hutajulikana sana. Kama iko juu yako itaanza kujulikana. But watu wote wanatuibia. So mtu mwenye anaweza kuchange hiyo taifa, bora tutakuwa tunaongelea tu hizi politics, nenda miaka rudi. Boni, hata kama unasimama area MP and you don't have power as a president, kuna vitu zingine utashtukia kama umeingia ndani, wanakuambia sisi tunafanyanga hivi. Sisi tunaendesha hivi serikali inaendeshanga hivi. That's why Wakenya washaambiwa na wanajua ya kwamba if we want to vie as a president, lazima maybe ukuwe kama ulisimama MCA mahali ama MP, ukapita ukakaa miaka fulani, au ukajaribu kitu kama senator ama governor, sasa wewe umequalify kusimama president. But they don't know before ufike that levels, umekuwa mwizi supavu, umefika sasa hiyo level, umejua vile government wana run. That's why unaonanga tu vitu after hii government tuna complain, after hii government tuna complain. Ni same people. So hata Gachagua kama atajoin hii government, sioni changes yote. Na Gachagua si hata anapiga hii kelele juu anatutetea. Na mimi baadaye si kusupport hiyo impeachment ya Gachagua. Gachagua si hata anatetea wa Kenya. Gachagua ametolewa nyama, anafeel ako njaa, so anapiga hizo makelele. Baadaye kuna watu umesikia akisema leo hata Uhuru na Ruto walisimama kura wakiwa na kesi ICC. So it means ako na focus ya kukuja 2027. That's why makesi zake spread nyingi ziko kotini. Gachagua anaweza kuja 2027 na akuje pia na mentality ya kutafuta sympathy vote the way Ruto did 2022. Akishatafuta akishaingia, mwenye alikuwa truthful man sijui atakuwa jina gani. Thank you.
Benjamin anasema kila mtu anafanya tu vile tu anaambiwa. Anasema tu serikali inataka mtu mpya ambaye hajawahi kuwa kwa serikali, a new man. And of course they are saying that Morara Kebaso, they are also saying Okiya Mtata. Buru, do you think that Morara Kebaso or Okiya Mtata, they can also give change to the country basing on their qualifications?
Let me, before I talk about Morara Kebaso and Okiya Mtata, let me just add something to what Benjamin said about Gachagua. It is true. One, the former deputy president is fighting because of the impeachment that he went through. So to some extent, I know he has vigilance. And it is normal that when someone has mistreated you, you are likely to revenge. In psychology, we say that people treat you the same way you treat them. It is the theory of reciprocity. People reciprocate. That when you are good to someone, that person is likely automatically to be good to you. And when you are bad to someone, that person, even without knowing, is likely to be bad to you. That is what is happening. Because of the treatment that Gachagua went through under Ruto's leadership, that is why he is really fighting this government. That is just one of the reasons. The other point I want to bring about Gachagua is that it is good for Kenyans to know that when Gachagua was contesting to become the Deputy President of Kenya, he was not looking for employment. He was looking for power. Because already this is a billionaire. These are very rich men with businesses and companies all over the country and if possible outside the country. And so he was not looking for a job. He was looking for power. He was looking to be seen as a big man. These people, after there is what we call the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. After someone has achieved everything, someone has a good family, someone has money, he has house, he has all the basic needs. The next thing that links in his mind is now power. That is what Gachagua was looking for. Gachagua alikuwa anatafuta sasa ile nguvu ya kuonekana ya kwamba yeye ni mtu mkubwa, yeye ni mtu anaheshimika. And can I tell you, even after becoming the deputy president of Ruto, he did not get that power because Ruto never gave him a chance to be seen as a big man. Right now, after the impeachment, Gachagua has attained what he was looking for. The electorates had not embraced Gachagua when he was a deputy president. And that is why I said it was a bad move for Ruto to impeach him because he made him stronger. You see? Sasa ile kitu alikuwa anashindwa kufanya, kuonekana yeye ni mtu mkubwa na mwenye nguvu, saa hii ameshakipata. People are flocking from Mombasa, from Western, from Nyanza, from Eastern, going to Amunyoro to meet Gachagua. Can I tell you today, as a psychologist, when I look at what we call the non-verbal cues, I see Gachagua as a more happy person when he is outside the government than he was when he was in government. When you look at how Gachagua is addressing people, those smiles, the laughter, he is enjoying every bit because people have already embraced him. That is what he was looking for. So today, William Ruto has created a very powerful Gachagua, and he is very happy about it. So I see him enjoying the process that he went through because he has already gotten power. People are singing Gachagua. Who would not like to be in his position? You know? So he is at par, he is at the same level as where Uhuru Kenyatta was before becoming the president. So he has become the kingpin. Who has made him the kingpin of Mount Kenya? It is William Ruto. And now after solidifying Mount Kenya, he has now started to go to other regions, explaining to them, you know what, I was called tribal, but I am not. So hapo ninaona ya kwamba William Ruto amefanya vizuri sana, amesaidia Gachagua. Gachagua anafurahia kuwa katika opposition. He is enjoying kupigiwa makofi. He is enjoying people, you know, kila mahali jamaa amependeka, jamaa ameanza kukubalika. Hata kama ni wewe, huwezi taka tena kuenda kwa serikali kwenye ukisema kitu the following day umechapwa sana na serikali na watu wote kwa sababu wanataka unyamaze. So about Morara Kibaso, I admire him and the exposures he is doing, exposing the government to the lies and deceptions and the misinformation and the corruption and all that. We need him. He is a good man. He is also very articulate. He is able to articulate the issues, and he has brains. I admire him so much. The way he is able to bring out whatever he want to say, I can tell you, in future, he has a very high chance of becoming the president of Kenya. But he must have a political base. Political base is how many people are following you. You can be a good leader, especially not now. We still have some few years to learn some few things. He should be thinking on how can I bring my age mates, people of his age, the millennials, the Gen Zs, to support him, make them his political base. Right now, he is a lone ranger. He just have very few people who believe that he can become the president. But we have the youth out there who need him to go for them and to show them we are not leaders of the future. We are the leaders of today. So he should come up with a strategy of creating a political base. Right now, he doesn't have. When it comes to Okia Omotata, people perceive him as an activist, not as a leader. People don't take him serious. They don't think that he can become the president of Kenya. So I also don't think he qualifies to be the president of Kenya. You know, so it's a perception. When it comes to politics, perception matters a lot. And we normally say that the first impression, how did he enter into the political field? He entered as an activist, and sometimes he even acts like somehow like a comedian, sometimes like a hooligan. Sometimes he is in chains and everything. So that changing that, the way we see him, kama tu jamaa wa kujifuga manyororo, jamaa wa mwenye anapenda tu kufurugana huko kwa streets na makesi kotini, changing that perception, it's very hard. That's why we say the first impression. So people see Okia Omotata as an activist more than a good leader who can become a president. So very few people, we love him, we like what he does. He has done a lot for this country. But the truth is, it is very hard for the people of Kenya to embrace him. This gentleman, Morara Kibaso, the impression is very good. He should maintain that he is a very gentle, and that he is official. He has that, he poses like someone who can become a president. He should now continue creating that image that I'm a leader. And before he says anything, he should always organize himself. And I like that he is able to articulate things the way they are supposed to be articulated. The only thing he need now to do is now to reorganize himself, to come up with strategies, to start appealing to the people to support him. And also he has to be very careful with this tribal voting. He should come up with a strategy to show people, oh, Kenyans, we have been so tribal. I am the savior from this monster of tribalism. You know, he has to come up with a strategy to counter what other leaders rely on in politics. Yes, Bonnie.
Perfect. Buru. We had Joram, but he has disappeared. I'm very sure he is going to come back. Benjamin, you have listened to what Buru said. Maybe you want to weigh on it before you respond to suggestions from Kenyans that Morara Kebaso, maybe he might vie, they might give him their votes in 2027. And also Okiya Mtata. Unaonaje hapo?
Thank you Boni. But then Jeff ameongea almost kila kitu right. Ameongea everything right vile nataka nikue. Na nilikuwa tunataka niongeze kitu. Kuna kitu inatusumbua Kenya sana na I normally call it mentality. You see Kenya sahi kuna hii trend, the more louder you are, the more popular you become. But haijalishi if we don't have leadership quality, bora the more louder you are, the more popular you become. Or the more you speak good English, the more popular you become. But Bonnie, we have leadership qualities. You know those types of leadership qualities. Kenyans hatutakingi kuelect mtu according to leadership qualities. We normally elect a person amepigwa wapi makofi, anaongeanga mara ngapi, anajua kuongea nini. But hakuna siku yenye tumebase about leadership qualities. Nitaunga Jeff mkono. Someone like Morara. Naona ati sasa serious. Ati Morara lazima apewe mpaka 2042. Na hii ndio discouragement zenye tunapewa. So 2042 kama amejipanga na nini? Jeff, hii kitu ndio yenye inatumaliza sisi. So Morara kama ataenda mpaka 2042, mimi personally kwa presidential candidate wenye wanasimama for example, Morara kama atakuwa kwa hiyo list, mimi naona Morara ni best kwa wote. Sababu gani? Ndio anamuona ni kijana mdogo hajamachua. Government imehire bloggers wengi. Ionekana Morara ni project ya government. Wamespend a lot of money kwa bloggers kuharibu vitu. So ukikombea Morara na hii timu mingine, Morara at least reasoning capacity yake ndio ni kijana, but reasoning capacity yake iko na problem ya kusolve problem easily compared with other politicians wenye wanataka tu kufanya business and other parties. So inatakana kama wa Kenya to mostly before we elect any person, we need to focus on leadership qualities. Hiyo tu ndio itatusaidia kama wa Kenya. But tusipo focus on leadership qualities, we'll be repeating the same mistake. The same mistake. Nimekuwa kama wimbo. Mimi siku moja natamani hiyo leadership quality ya marehemu John Pombe Magufuli. The guy alikuwa straightforward. Kama wewe ni mwizi, wewe unaibiwa wananchi, na alikuwa anamaanisha. Jamaa alikuwa na leadership qualities mzuri. Asante.
Benjamin anasema Morara Kebaso kama atakuwa kwa debe atakuwa ni mojawapo ya viongozi ambao wa Kenya wanaweza kumpatia kura, maana ako na qualities za kuwa rais wa Kenya. Pia anasema Magufuli was a straightforward person. But here Benjamin, we have seen now the Gen Z are endorsing Okiya Mtata. I have also seen a tweet in the X platform whereby they are saying that they are still wondering if Okiya Mtata is still waiting for the Gen Z to vote for him in 2027. Do you think that the Gen Z are more enough to give Okiya Mtata that presidential seat in 2027? Because he is liaising with the Gen Z, Okiya Mtata.
Bwana, unajua sasa kila mtu anatafuta anataka kulalia Gen Z ndio apate kura. Juu amejua ndio Gen Z mostly huwa wapigi kura. But hiyo voice yenye wanaongea mostly inasaidia places nyingi sana. Poki is my friend, huwa tunakutana naye. But hii ni siseme jiko kwa media, najua itakuwa recorded. But according to me, he's not the best choice. Mtakuja kujua sababu before 2027. He's my real friend, hata kama ananisikia, he saved my number, huwa tuna meet naye, but he's not the best person to save Kenya penye ipo. Ndio nilikuwa tunasema.
Ni nani hiyo umesema sio the best choice? Hapo imenipita kidogo.
Hebu respond hapo Buru. Ongea mtata hapa. Gen Z wanataka kupatia kura 2027.
Okay. Kabla hata nikuje kwa Okia Mutata, because I already talked about him and I said that the way he entered into politics, he entered as an activist, and changing that perception is very hard. He is not also a good mobilizer. He doesn't have the charisma. You see, the reason why Raila Odinga is followed by even the Western Kenya people who are not even from his tribe is because he is charismatic. So he doesn't have what it takes to be followed by Kenyans. He doesn't have that zeal. You know, he is a good fighter as an activist, but when it comes to pulling the crowd as a politician, there is something missing. So let me go back to Morara Kibaso. There are two things. He is a good leader. He can become somebody. He doesn't believe in corruption. And he has talked about this time and again. And that is what we have been looking for. The monster that has been eating Kenya for all these years, and what has stopped Kenya from taking off, is corruption. We have accepted corruption. Corruption has become the order of day in Kenya. Corruption has been systemized. It is like part of our system that for anything to be done for you, you must give something. That for services to be given to you, you must give something. For tenders to be given to you, you must give kickbacks. Even those international tenders, these politicians, they are very greedy hyenas. They get billions and billions of money. Even for anyone to get tenders in government today, it is very hard just for you to register a company and be given tenders. Even when they give you tender, if you don't give them money, they will not pay your money. That is the kind of nation we are living in. So when I hear somebody is disgusted and tired of corruption, this deceit, and these lies, I think that is the right person. There is nobody who has been talking about corruption in Kenya more than Morara Kibaso. Unfortunately, even for Kenyans to vote for you, they expect to be bribed. That's the unfortunate bit. Siwezi chagua mtu kama sijakula kitu yake. Hiyo ndio wa Kenya, hivyo ndivyo tuko. Tunategemea tupagishwe laini, tupewe 200, 500, tupewe mashuka, sijui tupewe nini na nini, ndio tuseme mtu ni mzuri. Mtu kama Kibaso, this a young man, he does not have a lot of money. He will not have money to give to the people of Kenya to vote for him. So it is upon the people of Kenya to decide that we need a paradigm shift from the way we have been doing things to different ways of doing things. That it is not a must I be given anything to vote in a good leader. So we must first of all change before we even criticize the politicians. These politicians, they steal a lot of money in order to give some of that money to Kenyans so that they may be appealing to them. In Kenya, if you don't have money, nobody will listen to you. No matter how good you are, no matter how clean you are, no matter how good strategies and good agenda for the nation you may be having, they will not vote for you simply because you don't have money. So by that, they have created a ceiling that is barring people who are qualified to take this nation to another level from becoming leaders. So the other question I want us to ask ourselves as Kenyans, where are the Gen Zs today? Hawa Gen Z leo wako wapi? Bona we don't feel them. We don't feel their impact. We don't feel like they exist. Boni, hawa ma-Gen Z walienda wapi? I came in this show and I said there is no group that can claim to be leaderless, partyless, and think that they will succeed in whatever they want to achieve. So today, I want to give this advice to our young people, whom I believe that they are capable of bringing change in this country. That is the high time they go back to the drawing board and come up with good strategies and establish good leadership so that in 2027, they'll be prepared to give us the best that we have never had in this country. So, point number one, they must choose their leaders and they choose them wisely. If they think of Mukia or Mutata, hiyo ni kupoteza, because he is not acceptable to many Kenyans. We already have a young man here who has stepped up. He has stepped out and he is saying, I want to be counted among the people who want to bring change in this country. Why can't they go for Murara? They tell him, you have the passion. We want to see what you can do. We are going to support you. So the Gen Zs and other youth and his age mates, they support him. After Kenyans will see that this man is having a huge support, the others who are older than them are likely to support him. But also remember, she must think how to overcome the monster of corruption, because if you don't have money, you can even be bought if you're not careful to exit the race. This politician can give you any amount of money. You heard Gachagua saying he was given 2 billion. You know, 2 billion can build a very good road in Kenya. But he was being given 2 billion to exit the political scene, to resign. Raila Odinga was given a lot of money. That is the allegation out there. I cannot ascertain. For him to support the government. And they have gone ahead to campaign for him using taxpayers' money in billions outside the country for him to become the AU chair. So if the people around Murara don't have money, they'll be bought. Tumeona tulikuwa na Kasamuel. Sahi tunakaona kamefuatana na president na kanafuatana na Raila Odinga. Ni pesa kanafuata. I mean, they are being bought. Kama wale wenye walikuwa naongoza Gen Z, sahi wote wamepewa pesa, wamenyamaza. They are already in government, they are eating, they have forgotten the cause. They have forgotten where they were going. So we need principled people who will say money is not everything. People who are determined to change this nation, not just for themselves, but also for the future generations. because we'll just be here temporarily. Bonnie, I can tell you, in the next 50 years or 60 years, Jeff Burrow will not be anywhere. But my children will be there. So if I am to fight, I have to have the mind. I am doing this for the future generations. When we are creating those laws, we should create them not to suit us, not to favor us, but to create good laws that will protect our children and give our children and the children of our children a good future. But our leaders are short-sighted. They see today, they don't see tomorrow. They are selfish. They think of enriching themselves, but not enriching the nation for the betterment of tomorrow. And that is the difference between Africans and the whites. The whites don't think so much about themselves. They think of having a beautiful country that will be admired across the world. They don't think about today, they think about tomorrow. I mean, you know, when you have lived with the Americans, the leaders there, they don't think about corruption. Nobody talks about corruption in America. Even the police, they arrest you, they give you the ticket, you go and pay. I mean, we need to start changing our mentality. We start now embracing those virtues that matters to build the nation. But how many people feel the way I feel? How many people feel the way Morara Kebaso feels? I mean, wewe sahi Boni ukipewa 2 billions. Sijui kama kesho unaweza kuja Afrika. I mean, it's true. Kuna pesa, hawa vijana wananunuliwa pesa, wanaenda wote wanasahau what they were fighting for. So for us to bring change in this country, lazima kitu cha kwanza tujue pesa ni adui, especially pesa ambayo sio ya haki. Ikuwe ni adui yetu. You know, Bonnie, it's a decision. To be a decent human being is a decision that you make by yourself as an individual. Nimewahi pata nafasi yenye ningekuwa napata pesa ili naajiri watu, nakubalia watu kuajiri kazi. But I had decided in my heart that mtu yeyote mwenye atakuja hapa ni mwenye amehitimu kukua kwa hiyo kazi. And people were trying. Wengine wanadhani ili utoke from this position to another, maybe huwa wanarara na boss. Wacha niende, nijaribu sasa kumfurahisha. Na hiyo yote inakuwa mimi nimedecide in my heart. I will not go outside my profession so that I can hire people. So hiyo ni decision mtu huwa ana make. But how many people can be given money today? Waseme, mimi kwa sababu napigania nchi sitachukua. So we have to be, kitu cha kwanza tukubali kama Wakenya, ikikuja ni 2027, tuseme hata pesa ziletwe, siziletwe, hatutatumia hongo to decide our next leader. Na Wakenya wakijua sio lazima ukue na pesa ili ukue rais wa Kenya. Kwa sababu gani, Bonnie? Today, if I want to become the president of Kenya, I don't know even where I can start. Kwa sababu gani? Sijafikia kiwango. Si kwamba sina maarifa. Si kwamba masomo haijafika. Ni kwa sababu mfuko sio mzito. Utaenda wasema, kama ni degree uko nayo uko sawa. Kama ni experience uko nayo uko sawa. But pesa hauna ya kutosha. So adui mkubwa wa hii Kenya ni corruption. Mpaka citizens wote ni corrupt. Karibu wote. Huwa tunaraumu leaders, lakini sisi tukiletewa pesa, tunaacha mtu mzuri, tunapatia kura mwenye imeiba pesa akatuletea. So wakora, wezi, wadanganyifu ndio tunaweka katika viti. Our country will not change until we change our mentality. That's how
Perfect.
I see it.
Benjamin, you have listened to what Mburu said. And before Benjamin will respond, we have Gipsy Kona. He said that Buru, if Ruto had offered Gachagua enough to cover 5 years, instead of 2 years, he would have gone quite in form of compensations. Awesome, of course, he's saying that let's have a conversation, guys. But remember, Ruto is the only candidate who can lead us comfortably to the next election, 2032. The others jokers. Buru, that's the same thing said that Kasmuel, he was just a great man. Also, I can say what I'm saying that the weather will be a factor to determine how the Gen Z will come out to vote. I remember when I was young, I could not wake up to vote during rainy day. I could relax in my house and wait for the winner. That is gives awards some, and also gives economy saying that adults need to get their ID first. Those are the comment section. That was some gives a corner Labani Misiani. Keep them coming in Africa 24. This is your 24-hour channel. Make sure you subscribe to Africa 24. Share, like, comment, and also keep your comments coming. Benjamin, you have listened to what Burwa said. Do you have to add something, or he just said everything?
Thank you, Jeff. Nataka nimalizie comment ni lale kidogo. So, kitu cha kwanza chenye nataka kusema, let me talk about 2 billion. Bonu, unajua ukipewa 2 billion,
Naweza cheza hiyo video ya Gachagua akiongelea 2 billion.
Kidogo tu kwanza uko naicheza. Ukikula 100,000 every day, 2 billion utamaliza lini?
Haraka sana.
100,000, 2 billion.
Unaweza kaa.
So 2 billion ni pesa nyingi sana yenye mtu hawezi kucheza. Vile Jeff amesema, the main weakness of Kenyans ni pesa. That's why Ruto hata ashughuliki na kitu chochote. Anajua weakness ya Wakenya ni pesa. Ruto anashughulika, that's why ameweka tax mingi, collect sanye hizo pesa zikuje zikuwe nyingi, 2027 zikuje zikiwa sawa. Na anajua weakness ya Wakenya yenye tuko nayo, almost everybody, ni pesa. Mtu akiona pesa atafanya kitu chochote. So Ruto, kitu cha kwanza, Ruto ako na high possibility ya kuwa one term president. High possibility. But hiyo possibility inaweza kubadilika sababu gani? Sababu ya 4 reasons. Ruto anaweza kuwa re-elected because number 1, we Gen Z tutapiga makelele kwa mtandao, but during voting day we will not vote. So during voting day sisi tutakuwa kwa mtandao, wazazi wetu ndio wataenda kupiga kura, wapewe 100 na wapige kura. Ruto amepita. Hiyo ni reason ya kwanza. Reason ya pili yenye Ruto itafanya Ruto apite, Ruto anaenda kuinvest kwa bloggers a lot of money. Hata itakuanga ukiingia kwa show comments zinasema tu Ruto. Anaenda kuinvest kwa bloggers everywhere. Watu wanaenda kupata pesa. Purposely akuwe re-elected 2027 afanye mambo yake. Kitu ya tatu yenye Ruto amefanya, amerelax. Ruto anaweza kuwa re-elected kwa sababu he's planning to register triple IDs. Boni Kimanzi atapiga Mudurwa ward, Boni Kimanzi atapiga Doni, Boni Kimanzi atapiga Pipeline. Same person. Hapo umempatia kura ngapi? 3. Na hii ndio scheming yenye wanataka kufanya 2027, akuwe re-elected. So Kenyans tusipokuwa keen, we just make this noise, but the guy atatumia pesa na ukora na kuwa re-elected. Thank you.
Thank you, Benjamin. Thank you, Benjamin, saying that the plan is to get re-elected in 2027. Jimmy Kangi, welcome to Africa 24. Of course, we have in this discussion, and we're just asking, is the country heading in the right directions? Of course, most Kenyans are crying that they are having a lot of problems, high cost of living, underdevelopment, and also the political era has already started, and yet the Kenya Kwanza has not delivered. Do you think that the country is heading in the right direction? And what's your take? Do you think that the president will be re-elected in 2027, or someone else might come in and become the president, making William Ruto the first president to serve for first term?
Hey, Bonnie, how are you guys? Unanisikia kweli?
Yes.
Kabisa, kabisa.
Yes, thank you very much for the time and the platform. Mimi kwa kweli huyu jamaa wangu the Hustler Nation, I don't see him coming. There is 100% chances that if he is on the ballot, the 2022 outcome, it's definitely the number one option, which is what my previous friend here, Benjamin, was alluding to. He is ready to do everything to make sure that Baba has been elected on the chairmanship so that the Baba effect would not be there. So if he steals the elections, there will be nobody to actually question that other than the GNCs. Now, Naona, the guy is actually buying a lot of them into his pocket. So yes, 2027, if we are not careful, the guy will be re-elected, regardless if Gachagua and Kalonzo and these other opposition leaders unite. They are still weak for this guy to be in the same ballot. So the thing that we need to do is to just to make sure, first of all, that he is not in the ballot, which means that the 2027 election, regardless who is at IEBC, Ruto should not be allowed to be on the ballot, because if he's going to be allowed to be on the ballot, you can be assured of 10 years of Ruto. And I cannot even stand the fact that the guy is going to be on the ballot. So Bonnie, we gotta be very strategic, and we gotta be very focused, because if we allow this guy to be on the, in fact, I am predicting this. Once you see Baba is elected in a few days, if he wins the AU election, my friends, Kenyans, we are stuck. That's why I'm praying very hard for Raila not to win the AU seat. I am against it. I want that guy in Kenya. I want that guy to be a part of it. And if that is the case, in case he doesn't win, then comes and joins Ruto, I am 100% his cautious will not allow him for Ruto to steal, because he has stole from him before. He will not want that. Baba will not want that. Will not want that to happen for the Kenyan masses. So yes, Kenya is the wrong, and the change that is to make sure that Ruto is not on the ballot. That's my view.
Yes, that is Jimmy, and of course we have also seen how members are giving their speeches currently. But this was Gachagua today when he was speaking.
Nyinyi mko pale Wabukusu, naenda pande hii, Malagori naenda pande hii, Waidao, Waisuga, Marama, Banyala, Basoso wanaenda pande hii, Kabras naenda pande hii. Hapo ndio shida yenu iko kama jamii, na lazima mketi chini mjipange nyinyi wenyewe bila kupangwa na mtu mwingine, na msiongee na mtu saa hii mpaka mjipange kwanza. Muunganishe Western yote, muongee sauti moja. Na ndio unaona huyu natembea anapigwa, because hiyo lugha anaongea watu hataki, because wanajua Western ikiungana iongee sauti moja itakuwa na umaarufu kubwa sana, ushawishi kisiasa.
Inasemekana anatembea, wewe ndio umetuma yeye. Wewe ndio unasukuma anatembea.
Mimi natuma yeye, kwani yeye ni mtoto? Natembea, ni kiongozi, amechaguliwa gavana, alikuwa PC. Huyo ni kiongozi, anajua nini anafanya. Ile mimi natembea, ile kitu tunafanana ni kuongea lugha moja, mtu aunganisha watu yao. Mimi rais alinifika kwa sababu ya kuunganisha watu wetu. Alitaka hatukawanye, awanye watu ya East na watu ya West, watu ya Murang'a, nikamkataza na nikakataa na nikaunganisha watu wetu, na watu wetu wameshikana kama simiti, kwa sababu rais akitukawanya tutakuwa watumwa wake, na atatukalia sana, na atatuchenga na atatuumiza vile tunaumia saa hii akitutenganisha. Lakini tukiungana tuko na nguvu sana watu ya mlima, kwa sababu tuko na kura yetu milioni karibu 7. Tutaketi na kusema hapana, tunataka namna hii, nataka namna hii. Huyu Natembea anapigwa kwa sababu anaongea lugha ile ambayo inafaa kusema watu ya Mlembe tuungane, kabla hata hatujaongea na wengine, kwanza tuungane. Na ndio wanataka kumtoa, mpaka kulikuwa na njama ya kumtoa gavana pale Trans Nzoia. Na unajua sasa wale wa Bukusu na wale wa mtu wa Mlembe wako pale, wajue Natembea akitolewa, deputy governor ni mtu ya jamii ya rais, ndio atakuja kuwe gavana hapo. So wale watu ya Mlembe wako pale, hata wale wa Kikuyu wako pale assembly, niliwaongelesha, niwaambia nyinyi msikuje watu kutumika vibaya, mnakuja kufukuza Natembea. Natembea akitoka, nani nakalia hiyo kiti? Na Natembea makosa yake ni kuchanua Waluya, kuambia nyinyi sisi ni wengi kama jamii, tuungane kwanza. Kwa hivyo mimi message yangu kwa Mlembe Nation, hii maneno ya kusema nyinyi ni Bukusu, nyinyi ni Malagori, nyinyi ni Waidao, nyinyi ni Waisuga, nyinyi ni Basoso, nyinyi ni Marama, nyinyi ni Wakisa, hiyo maneno muachane naye. Muungane nyinyi nyote kama Mlembe. Mkishafikisha kula milioni 5, tafute Rigiji tuketi na Kalonzo na Matiang'i na wengine, tuseme sasa tuko hapa, hizi ndizo kura zetu, tupangane, tupangane namna gani? Sasa nyinyi mnapita ati Raila apange nyinyi. Sasa saa hii anapanga maneno yake hiyo, nyinyi mko hapo? Hamko hapo? Juzi amepewa mawaziri, ile kiti ya finance wakati ya Azimio ilikuwa ya Oparanya. Saa ile amepata nafasi, hajapatia Oparanya hiyo kiti ya finance, amepatia Abadi. Kama mngekuja kwa meza direct, mngepata kiti yenu. Sasa Oparanya amepata kupitia kwa Raila. Unaona? Sasa nyinyi tafadhali, nataka niongeleshe nyinyi kama mzee. Mimi nimeona mambo mingi. Siri ya hii Kenya kwa wale wote wanatafuta uongozi ni kuungana na kuongea sauti moja. Mkikubali kugawanywa, watu wengine wako kwa Musalia, wengine wako kwa Wetangula, wengine wako kwa Atwoli, wengine wako kwa Raila, wengine wako wapi, mtapotea. Na unajua tulipokuwa pale kwa hii agreement, huyu kijana anaitwa Cleophas Malala alifukuzwa pia. Na alifukuzwa kwa sababu ya hii agreement, alikuwa pia anatetea. Hii Malala, huyo ni mwanaume.
Gachagua anaongelea Mlembe Nation. Unafikiri Gachagua anaweza fanya kazi na kina Natembea mwaka wa 2027? Itaweza kumuondoa William Ruto kweli?
Bonnie, in politics everything is possible. And I have to say this, William Ruto must be afraid. Or let me put it this way, he has a reason to be afraid. Because this Gachagua is a ruthless mobilizer and fearless. He is going to unite Central Kenya, unite Western Kenya and Eastern against William Ruto. And he is telling these people because he doesn't fear. He is telling the people what many people are not able to say, what other politicians cannot say. William Ruto, Rigathi Gachagua, is able to say it. And that one makes him very different from other people. So William Ruto has a good reason a very good reason to be afraid of this Gachagua. If he does not tame him now, he will have a big problem in 2027. He has already told the Western Kenya people what other people have not been in a position to tell them, that look, in Kenya, you are the second most popular, you have the most votes in Kenya. You are second in having the majority of votes in Kenya. How comes you have never fielded someone, or nobody has ever come from that region to become the president of Kenya? And even when you vote, you are splitted into different segments. Right now, he is telling them, forget these small communities within one community, become one, so that you'll be in a position to be counted among others who will be on the table to negotiate on the national cake, on the political positions. Those are things that many leaders were not able to tell the Western Kenya people, that look, you have the numbers even to field a presidential candidate and win. So, and also he is telling the Eastern people, look, we the Central people are likely to support Kalonzo Musyoka to become the president of Kenya. Unite so that you can have at least 4 million votes. So I think William Ruto has a reason to be afraid. And I want to say this, that this time around, I would like Kenyans to decide that we can vote for anybody else apart from William Ruto. Why am I saying that? This guy has deceived everyone. This guy has launched air, deceiving people that he is launching this road, that road. And when you go there, there is nothing. So we have to stand against the deception. We have to stand against leaders who are not genuine, who do not mean well for the country. Somebody here, I think it was Jimmy, who has talked about Baba, that William Ruto is doing everything to ensure that Baba becomes the AU chair. The reason why he is doing that is because he knows if Raila Odinga will not win to become the AU chair and he comes back to Kenya, there is a high possibility Baba will not accept to back him, will not accept to support him in 2027. So this time around, he is trying to do everything. He is using billions so that he can put Baba away from Kenya. But as somebody said, and I also pray the same, because we need somebody who can check the government of William Ruto. We want Baba in Kenya. If he wins, well and good. But I think he will be more useful to us as Kenyans when he is in politics here in Kenya than when he is outside there. And if he will fail to win the AU seat, I can tell you the probability that he will support William Ruto is very, very, very minimal. And therefore, without the support, overwhelming support of the Western Kenya people, without the support of the Kalonzo people, the Eastern people, without the support of Central Kenya, I don't know whether he tries to use I don't know which strategy William Ruto is going to use to continue as the president of Kenya. So he has already created a monster for himself by the name Gachagua. Gachagua will bring this man down. I can tell you for sure. Bonnie, I can't see you.
I'm still here. You are finished, eh?
Yes.
Jimmy, do you think that the Mulembe Nation will work with the Gachagua in 2027? Will this collab really defeat William Ruto when it comes to the general election?
Of course, yes. Gachagua is doing his homework very well. He's actually giving them secrets. You see, these people of the mountain were deceived by Ruto. And the same thing that he did to the mountain is what actually is doing in the western part of the country. That is why the governor of our Shiligishu has to stand with Gachagua, because that is the only way that he can bring these people to the fold. Now, you know, the only person who has close to the influence of Governor George is actually Wetangula. That's the only person actually in Western that can be able to bring these people together if he decides to do that. Musalia Mudavadi and Atwoli, they are just noisemakers, especially Atwoli. Nothing else other than his money, and not even actually doing what he's supposed to be doing in protecting the people who are casual workers who Ruto has actually deceived and killed, physically, what to say. But Watwori, Musalia Mudavadi, they have no say in the Western. If this guy, Gachagua, can be able to sell his payslip narrative in the Western, I am telling you this, that these people, they are going to come together as one team. And if that happens, and you saw from the interview that you just put in there, what Gachagua is doing is basically trying to tell these people, I want you to be a tribalist. Matiang'i, go back to Kisii and Nyamira. Bring your numbers here. You guys in Western, bring your numbers here. I and Martha Karua will bring our numbers from the mountain. They will find someone from coast. Bring your numbers here. Then let us sit on the table. You have 2 million, you have 2, then let's just work on with one person. And that's why I'm praying so hard, so that this guy called Baba can lose the AU position, so that he can come. I can tell you this without a fear of any contradiction, that immediately, in fact, in 2-3 weeks, you will see Baba now coming to the street saying, this guy Ruto deceived me. That is politics. And when that happened, I will rejoice, Jeff. I will actually, nitakula kuku hiyo siku. I will rejoice, because that is the start of Ruto downfall. And let me tell you this. Baba knows very well that he cannot allow Ruto to be on the ballot. That is the start of Ruto's problem after AU. And I'm telling you this thing in Congo is actually going to cost Raila's seat in AU. Everything is happening to us. God will not allow Kenyans to suffer because of AU victory. And we know very well that if Raila wins AU, he has nothing to do with Kenya. He will concentrate. In fact, he will actually want Ruto to take over, to continue to finish the 10 years, so that he can have an amble. Kenyans can suffer because they didn't vote him the way he wanted him to be voted. So yes, Gachagua, let him do what he's doing. We support him very well. Let him bring these tribes together. Let him bring these people together, because with those numbers, hata Ruto akiiba, hata Ruto akiweka hiyo madouble registration, ulisikia sijui mtu anapiga kura sijui Kisii, Jimmy anapiga Kisii, anapiga Mombasa, anapiga Kwale. You know, if that even does those things, if they happen, if that's the case, the numbers will not allow him to be the next president. So to answer your question, the narrative right now, it's working. Let these people come together, because that is the only way that they can actually, this Ruto guy is actually a very good student. What he's trying to do is what Moi was doing until 1997 by dividing the opposition. Ruto does not want these guys to be singing or seeing him from the same, wavelength. He wants them to be divided, and he knows Western is always divided. If he can divide the mountain, which is failing, terribly failing. In fact, he's more uniting it than the way he thought he was dividing it. Ruto is home in 2025. Hii mwaka hii, ngoja Ruto atoke, Raila atoke AU. Ndio mtajua hii vitu ziko aje. Ruto will go home. They will not allow him. I'm telling you, Jeff, they will not allow these guys to go to 2027.
Yes.
Because if they do, then they are beaten. And now you see Gachagua is actually now stopping being a tribal. He is actually uniting the tribes. My friend, hii kitu imeisha 2025. Mwaka in fact tukienda next year ni military itakuwa imeshikilia. Tukienda the Burkina Faso style. Hiyo ndo tunataka. Na actually now to say you this. Now the worst part is Trump. Trump will not allow Ruto's nonsense of stealing votes. Hata kubali ujinga. The moment Ruto hiyo watu GNC ama Raila akirudi Kenya, Ruto atalewa ofisi, Trump is gonna say let him go. Hakuna hiyo kitu ati kama hii Biden angesema tu amani. So tuko sawa. Wacha watu wateseka kidogo, wale walipigia Ruto kama Jeff hapa, wacha wateseka kidogo, lakini wameteseka sana. Let this thing end this year so that 2026 ni kufikiria how we are planning for 2027 with a new flesh blood that is not even Baba, because Baba hata yeye atatumika kutoa Ruto, but hata yeye hatapewa kura. We need someone else.
We need someone else. That is Jimmy.
We do.
Yeah, in 2027. Of course, this is a political discussion here in Africa 24. This is a big discussion. Of course, you are having this top discussion here, political, and also as you follow this great conversation, make sure you can follow us in social media platforms, Africa 24 social media platforms, YouTube. Go there, like, comment, and subscribe in Africa 24 because this is your number one political show. Also, we are having this discussion in the comment section. I can see we are having a lot of people who are following this great conversation, and also they are sending their messages, the likes of Awesome, saying that some people are dreaming big. Raila is the next AUC chairman. Stop the speculation. Awesome is saying that we should stop the speculations of Raila losing the AU seat. Yes, Buru.
Yes, I want to start by answering Awesome, who is saying that though Gachagua is trying to mobilize the people of Western and Eastern and Central, he is more of a regional leader who is not embraced by the people. Na Awesome ningetaka tu ni fafanue tu kidogo, hata nitumie Kiswahili, maybe that people will understand more. Wakati Gachagua alikuwa anachaguliwa akuwe deputy president, watu wengi hata Central hawakuwa wamemuembrace kama kiongozi, kwa sababu hatukuwa tumemjua sana, hatukuwa tunajua umaarufu wake, hatukuwa tunajua uwezo wake. This is a one-term member of parliament, and then all of a sudden he was appointed to be the deputy president of Ruto. Sasa Gachagua alikuwa anajua, mimi bado sijaji-establish Mount Kenya kama mtu ambaye anaweza akafuatwa na watu wa Mount Kenya. Na historia ya kisiasa ya nchi ya Kenya ni lazima ukuwe na support ya kwenye umetoka kabla ufuatwe na regions zingine. So kwa hivyo wakati waliform the government of Kenya kwanza, at the back of Gachagua he knew he had a task to perform, to make sure that the people of Central follow him. And William Ruto was aware of what Gachagua was trying to do. Not that he was tribal, but he was not having overwhelming support. He was not having full support from Central Kenya. So when he started selling himself as someone who fights for that region, as someone who stands for the rights of Central Kenya so that he may be embraced, like Raila Odinga in Nyanza, like William Ruto is embraced in Rift Valley, William Ruto became so uncomfortable with that. And that is why he was fighting him, so that he does not build himself politically. So to be fair enough, Gachagua was not trying to be tribal. He was just trying to be like other leaders in Kenya, that you have to be supported from where you come from before you can get support elsewhere. And this is what I want to say, that politics, when it comes to politics, it is all about two things. Number one, it is about attaining power. So these leaders, they know without unity, those who are not supporting Ruto, without working together, they will not attain power. They know very well who is Ruto. They know he has the ability to leak. He has the ability to corrupt everyone. So they will try everything possible to work together to bring him down. Number two, it's all about interest. So Western, if they feel that their interest will be catered for in the team of Gachagua, because it's not a must that someone becomes the president, his interest can be catered for by being in that coalition. There is a high possibility even Gachagua will not be in the ballot as a presidential candidate, but the Central Kenya people will know, basing on the deal that they have made in that coalition, that our interests are catered for. And that is what I'm saying. Sio lazima Gachagua akuwe president, sio lazima hata ikuwe inatembea, but what kind of a coalition are going to make, that will matter a lot. So I wanted to say that Natembea and maybe any other strong leader from Western will come up. Kalonzo Musyoka. We have even seen Babu Owino is not working with Ruto. We have even seen Sifuna is not working with Ruto. So it is not everybody in ODM who is working with Ruto. There will be so many defections even from political parties. So I feel that William Ruto will have a very hard task for him to retain power in 2027. And myself, I am just saying this because I have already assessed the ground. The other time I was speaking when I was in America. Today I'm speaking when I'm on the ground. Here in Central Kenya, people don't want to hear the name of William Ruto. People have totally rejected William Ruto. Not just because of betraying Gachagua. It is also because of the lies, deception, the many projects he launched which were fake. Why do you have to launch projects if you know you not implement them? They were projects that were started in Central Kenya, the Mau Mau roads. They stopped where Uhuru stopped them. So he will have nothing to tell the people of Mount Kenya. Totally, they are gone. They are gone. And if he has lost Mount Kenya, and I told people yesterday, Mount Kenya has registered voters. Only Mount Kenya plus Nairobi, 7 million people. 7 million registered votes. So how much more do they require to make someone a president? So Ruto made a grave mistake by playing around with the Mount Kenya people. And there is a high possibility that Baba will not support him in 2027. If Baba comes and joins Gachagua, because politics is very dynamic, unaweza shtukia Baba asipopata AU atakuja aseme mimi na support Gachagua to support Kalonzo Musyoka, who has been studying with me. Kalonzo has always fought for Baba to become the president. And now the people of Central Kenya have softened. They have said, this guy amewahi work na sisi, and this time we can support him. So with the coalition of Matiang'i, coalition of Babu Owino, coalition of people like Sifuna, coalition of people like this Ebb guy, Muturi, coalition of people like Gachagua and Kalonzo and Natembea in the same team, you people are joking. I don't know the miracle which William Ruto is going to perform. We people from diaspora who actually played a very key role to ensure that the votes of William Ruto are not stolen, not with him, because he has failed the country. We mobilized resources. We paid most of the agents. Do you think we're going to do the same in 2027? Do you think that we are going to be supporting him in our social medias? We are not going to do such things. So William Ruto has lost favor. The favor is gone. I've been here in this platform and I've been listening to people. And you don't have to be very wise to understand the ground. The people who are not supporting William Ruto are not just people from Central Kenya. Listen, even today, the panelists here, and you know we don't reprimand anybody here. We allow people to talk. Many of the panelists who come here, they also say, we are tired of this man. We are tired of his lies. We are tired of fake projects. We want a serious leader who will not just talk and make promises, but someone who will act, someone who will bring change, someone who hates corruption. William Ruto kila mahali akienda, ukisikia akiongea mambo ya SHA, mkono yake iko ndani ya kikapu. Ukisikia akiongea mambo ya ndani na airport, mkono yake iko pale ndani. Kwa kila ukisikia akisema mambo ya manyumba, hizo manyumba material na nini, yeye ndiye anajua kwenye zinatoka. I mean, come on. We need somebody who is a little bit cleaner. Hata kama hatakuwa msafi sana, huyu uchafu imekuwa nyingi. Boni, ukiniachilia, remember, I can talk for 2 hours. Jimmy.
Yes, Mburu, as I just wish we can terminate the show. If you have something to share, Jimmy, from what Mburu has said.
No, you know, when Mburu talks,
Jimmy is like he is sleeping.
No.
I want to conclude by reading some of these comments here, so that maybe I'll be in a position to answer some of them. Awesome. First of all, I want to thank you so much because you've been keeping us very busy. And our viewers, remember to subscribe to Africa 24. And we're going to be having this show, and we have been having this show every night, beginning from 10 p.m. to 12 most of the time, or past around 12:30 there. So you are most welcome to be joining the show. And in Africa 24, we don't support any political party or any candidate. We allow people to speak their mind. That is why we are very confident of talking whatever we want to talk, saying whatever we want to say. So whether you support or whoever you support, feel comfortable to be joining Africa 24 political show. And I think this week we're gonna also be bringing another show which will be called Ask the Doctor. We shall be talking of different diseases and what you are supposed to do. We shall be bringing doctors here to help our people and also to know the eating habits and such kind of things. So let me just read some of the comments to see what people are saying. If you have not subscribed to Africa 24, please do it. I know some of you may be watching from other social media platforms that are connected to Africa 24. But for you to be getting that notification, for you to be knowing what is going on, please also support and subscribe to Africa 24, and we're gonna appreciate so much. This is what Osam is saying. Some people are dreaming big time. Raila is the next AU chairman. Stop the speculations. Yeah, if he wins, Kenya wins. Myself, let me just say, I pray that he wins, because that is Kenya, which will win. But I can tell you for sure, Osam, in the next few weeks, we're gonna be here, and I think winning AU right now, the possibility is very minimal. But if he wins, I wish him the best, and that is our prayer. Osam is also saying, to me, Gachagua is more weaker than he was as the DP. He is uniting the tribes in his own backyard. He can't run to Mombasa. He has used, as he used to do. By 2027, Gachagua will have that opportunity of the microphone. Such kind of, okay, I have understood what he's saying. He is saying that Gachagua is weaker than he was. But I can tell you, you are badly mistaken, Osam, in that statement there. Because today people are flocking from all over the country of Kenya. They are flocking to Amunyoro to go and hear what Gachagua has to say, because they have a plan of making a coalition with him. Someone with 7 million votes in his basket is not someone that you can underestimate as a serious politician. Also, there is a comment there. The only problem Gachagua cannot come out of, I think, I don't know why you are just people talking about Gachagua. The fact that everybody is talking about Gachagua tells you that this guy is a threat. When Ruto goes to talk, he's talking about Gachagua. When those in government are talking, they are talking about Gachagua. It means he has become somebody. But we are very mean with the truth. We are not able to say it, that this guy has become a threat and he has become problematic to the government. And the government is afraid of these men. So he's saying the only problem Gachagua cannot come out of as a clean man is what he did to his deceased brother. This is malicious and misinformation, because the family of the deceased came out and they said that was malicious and that was not true. There is nothing Gachagua stole from them. They trust him and they said how much he has stood with them. So that was just a malicious statement, an accusation that was thrown to the public to make him look like a bad man, which is not true. We didn't see it come out clearly, even in the court. And nobody is above the law. If he has done such a thing, he can be taken to court. Today, he is a commoner. He is a common citizen. So please, let us not be malicious in our statements. I am old enough to know that the Central Region is so self-centered. They only believe that leadership must come from them. History tells us how this region has marginalized others since independence. I don't know how to answer you this, and I beg not to, but remember we supported Ruto 100%, knowing that he was not a Kikuyu. We also supported Raila Odinga. He got some good votes, over 1 million in central Kenya. Raila Odinga is not a Kikuyu. We supported Ruto. Ruto was not a Kikuyu. So if you want us to appear like tribal, that is up to you. There is no mistake we have made by voting, because it is a democratic process, and it's a democratic right for anyone to vote whoever he feels like voting for. That is how I see politics, unless we change the constitution and tukue na ile ya kuchagua huku miaka 5, saidire ingine miaka 5. Nobody has made a mistake by voting the way they vote. If there is anything that Kenyans are tired of, is the presidency coming from the Central Region. It is okay to be tired. Vote against that. It is your democratic right. We need to know the position of Ndindi Nyoro. He can't be a political coward. Hey, Africa 24 is the best platform to air your views. There is no blackmail, there is no blocking or harassment. Keep it up. Thank you so much for that comment and commending Africa 24 to the viewers. Yes, when you come here, be confident to say what you have, to support whoever you want to support, and remember to support Africa 24. Now, we only block you or ban you when you become abusive, when you go above board, because there are some people, sometimes you put very bad comments, you abuse the panelists. Sometimes we don't condone that, and that is when you can be blocked. I see so many people coming. When we are almost closing the show, maybe Bonnie will give you a chance to say hi and say something. Thank you so much. Yes, Bonnie.
Yes, we have Erastus. Erastus,
Yes.
welcome to Africa 24.
Thank you very much.
Yes, do you think that Gachagua might come together with the Western leaders, the likes of Natembea, to vie for presidency in 2027?
Well, they might come together. There's no problem with that. But now it will be very difficult for them because they don't have this togetherness. You know, these people, sometimes they look to be too much greedy because they don't come up.
Yeah, we can't hear Erastus. Maybe you have to allow your mic. So if you are talking, we can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
There is a question here about Dede Nyoro. Maybe you can read it for me.
We can hear Erastus.
Yeah. You can hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, let me. You say there is a question for who?
Bonnie, can you hear me?
Yes, we are hearing Erastus loud and clear.
Oh, good. There is somebody who is telling me to answer about Dede Nyoro being a political coward. They know where he stands. And I want to say this, being calculative and being wise is not tantamount to being a coward. Remember, there are so many politicians in Central Kenya who have committed what we call political suicide. They have hanged themselves politically, and their political star will be covered forever. One, Dede Nyoro understood Central Kenya very well. So he didn't want to offend the people by impeaching Gachagua. At the same time, he didn't want to offend his boss, William Ruto. So he decided to remain quiet. He holds a very high position in the cabinet, in parliament. He decides which money goes where. He distributes money. So Dede Nyoro realized that by supporting Gachagua, he will have a bad blood with William Ruto. Yet he didn't want to lose that position that he holds, which is a very key position. Number two, he knew by not supporting Gachagua, the Central Kenya people were going to reject him. So even now, he is just doing his calculations. He is just being a wise politician. Today, nobody is fighting Dede Nyoro because nobody knows whether he is with Gachagua or he's with Ruto. So that is being wise. He is weighing the ground. He is listening to the ground. And remember, this guy, he has the ability even of becoming the president of Kenya. Maybe he'll be supported by Gachagua. If Gachagua will not be running, who knows? So Dede Nyoro is not a coward. He's just being wise. He's just being calculative and very careful with the people, because the people of Central Kenya are very slippery. Remember, Mother Karua was loved and liked in Mount Kenya more than Gachagua today. People were saying the only man in Mount Kenya. Then they were referring to that as Mother Karua. But she made a miscalculation of not supporting Kibaki when Kibaki needed her most. She was holding the docket of Minister of Justice, the Justice Minister. And she decided to resign. From that time, her political career was covered, was terminated. She has been trying to start, but the people of Central Kenya are very slippery. They rejected her forever. So one mistake can make you to be rejected forever in Central Kenya. We also had Wangari Maathai, who also resigned from the government of Kibaki. She tried to come up. She tried to rise again. She never rose to any political position after falling out with Kibaki. So Dede Nyoro knows very well, by going against Gachagua, the people are likely to reject him forever. So he is being very careful with the people, and also he is also being very careful with Ruto. He don't want to be terminated. He don't want to be dropped from the position that he is holding in parliament. So he's just a very wise leader. Thank you so much. Bonnie, back to you.
Perfect. Erastus, you are saying something?
Yeah, well, this guy is talking very nice about Ndindi
Sorry, we
Nyoro.
can't hear Erastus.
No, we can hear him. We can hear him. We can hear him. Please, Buru.
Oh, you can? Oh, good. Good.
So, Mr. Jeff Mburu, you were talking very nice about Ndindi Nyoro, the calculation moves of Ndindi Nyoro. Ndindi Nyoro is a very smart politician, if you never know that. He's a very nice politician, and he is calculating his own moves. The only person with a problem is the advisors of Gachagua. Gachagua needs to be very well advised, because he would let me say that Gachagua could have made this Mount Kenya very proud if he just sometimes there are some things that Gachagua needs not even to explain about. He just needs to sometimes keep cool, because he's a big politician in Mount Kenya. He is a big politician. Just like Uhuru Kenyatta, Uhuru Kenyatta is a respected person, and is a person who is standing in a position whereby he just needs to be respected as our former president. So if Gachagua just calculates his moves like the way Ndindi Nyoro calculates, I think these guys could have a position in politics. They could have a very nice position in politics. Gachagua has an influence. When he continues talking too much, at times he loses this a lot of focus, So what I can just say about Ndindi Nyoro is that he's a smart guy, and we cannot know how he calculates his moves, because now he's silent. That is the moves of this politics, the very nice moves. If he's silent, or he can be silent like that. Once he can come out and say that.
So Bonnie, Erastus is talking. I think my
yes.
my network,
Yes,
I think
he's
my
talking.
network is poor. I can't
Yeah, your
hear
network, Buru. Confirm your network. Continue, Erastus.
So, what was I actually saying? I was saying that the moves of Ndindi Nyoro is very smart, and I wish if Gachagua can follow these steps for Ndindi Nyoro, they could still come up together. Reaching the 2027, they will see what to do, because politicians are always politicians. They will use all means, and they will gather all the efforts to make the opportunity. If they want this seat for presidency, they could still. But now these people are still struggling, my friend, because they don't even know the exact person to. Sometimes they say Matiangi, sometimes they say Kalonzo. These people are not well arranged, right? So the best thing for them is to calculate their moves now. It's still early. The time now is still early for too much noise, too much it is still very early to make this a lot of noise. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Bon.
Yeah.
Back to you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Awesome. That is a great submission. Jimmy, can you listen to what Erastus said?
Yeah, Rastas is coming very well. I think there is more time for these people to collaborate and come up with a formidable team that can actually counter William Ruto. The earlier, mapema ndio best. So we'll stand guided. The central region and the western region, they are going to play a very big role in terms of making a very big impact in 2027. So that's why you see Washigishu Governor Natembea and Gachagua, those two blocks are actually what Ruto is looking at. That's why you see him camping in the western region to see if he can actually divide. The only way Ruto is going to win legitimately is by dividing. The 1997 tactics of Moi. That is the only way that is going to is going to actually make an impact. So if the Western um, vote together and with the Gashagua's effort in the mountain, yeah, it's gonna be very hard for Ruto to even steal, because that's the only way that he's gonna be able to win. So kuna time, but I come from the school of thought that they will need to really work hard so early, not make their intentions known. They have to hide their jokers by hiding in who is going to be their flag bearer, because the moment they disclose that, then that gives Ruto to find an alternative um, choker for him. So let these guys play together, but also do what Gachagua says. Go build your homes first. Let number Zenu on the board. When that time comes, we'll sit down and we'll say, you know what, Western, we are having this. From the central, we have this, Mombasa, this. And let me also point to something else, Bonnie. What actually there's this guy, I don't know what position he holds in ODM, but he issued a press statement, I think today or yesterday, talking about people are castigating and calling Wafula names, Edwin, the Secretary General, when he actually reports the correct position of ODM. What that tells you is that, Sifuna is not with the ODM. Those are facts that we can't deny. But when you see the ODM inner circle coming in to embrace what Sifuna is saying, then there is a problem in ODM. There is a problem in ODM. They are fearing Babu's effect going away. They are actually now fearing what is actually going on with Wafula. So it was Sifuna. I'm sorry, Sifuna. So it's a scary move. It's a scary move. They don't want to be labeled as a dictator party like the way we know it. Nishida for right now, but these guys, they need to work together for them to be able to make a big impact in terms of numbers going forward. But ODM imesambaratika, and that is the same thing with UDA.
Yes,
That is my position.
perfect. I know we have followers following this great conversation from other social media platforms. Make sure you keep yourself tuned to Africa 24 every day, because we always have this show from 10 p.m. East African time. Make sure you join through the links that we share, and you come here and share your views with other Kenyans, because this is the only place that you got the best when it comes to the news updates. Africa 24 political discussion happens here every day.